Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. I know this is going to be another favourite albums review. I actually really enjoy doing these. I mean, talking about music is obviously this is what it's all about. I mean, obviously we're all into the hi-fi stuff, but music is the core part of it, really. This is what, which sort of drives us all, hopefully. This is going to be sort of a two-parter in a way because I'm going to sort of reviewing an album, but there's also another album which drew me to it. It sounds a bit complicated, this, but bear with me. With streaming, people talk about the fact that, we love streaming because you play a track and it sort of recommends about another 10 artists to you that sound like the track that you've just played. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And that sort of thing. You think, yeah, okay, that's great. But to me, the whole thing of record collecting and finding musicians and different sorts of music, it's about sifting through albums in a record shop. It's about being recommended by friends. It's about listening to Friday Rock Show, or please go back a bit, or John Peel, or that sort of thing, and hearing something amazing and then going and searching it out. It's just too easy just to have it all presented to you in one batch. To me, that just takes the whole magic away from it somehow. Another way we used to find, years ago, the way we used to find stuff like this was the old sampler records, and there weren't many of these done, actually. This was a bit of a thing from the sort of 60s, 70s, really. And I bought, in my very early days of record buying, a thing called Nice Enough to Eat, which is in fairly poor condition. I bought it second hand. It was like this when I bought it. Nice Enough to Eat is a sampler from Island Records. And I'd already bought a couple of albums in Ireland, and there was something about them, something about the production of them and the types of music that were on Ireland that I really loved. So that coming across an Island sampler was like a dream come true, really. And if you look on here, there's 12 different tracks by 12 different artists. On the back of it, you've got album cover. There's 8 album covers showing on there, which obviously that sort of spurs you on to find that specific album. We've got Fairport Convention on here. I mean, people who know me well would probably be sort of guessing now that I'm going to start talking about a particular Fairport Convention album. That's not where I'm going with this, actually, but bear with me again. It's got, Unhalf Bricking. There's Cajun Woman off Unhalf Bricking on it. We've got Mott the Hoople at the Crossroads. Always love Mott the Hoople. Spooky Tooth. Now, not very well known Spooky Tooth, but I've got a couple of their albums. I think fantastic. They're a bit like Free. Superb sounding band. Jethro Tull's on here. We Used to Know, which is off Stand Up. Now, to me, Stand Up is the best Jethro Tull album. I mean, people won't agree with me on that, but I've always thought, whether or not it's because of the relationship with this, because I hadn't actually bought any Jethro Tull until I heard them on here. And Stand Up is down there, that one, it's shining on it. We've also got Freeze on here. Heavy Jelly, which I've never managed to find any music by Heavy Jelly, really. I think that was the one track I wasn't that keen on here, so I never really pursued it. Bloodwind Pig, which is superb, which, if you've seen, I might just walk into the other demonstration room in a minute, because I've realised that there's 2 of my vinyl art albums on the wall in there that have come from here. Traffic, obviously. King Crimson's on here. For some reason, they put on 21st Century Schizoid Man, which is my least favourite King Crimson track. No, again, people won't agree with me on that. It might be because it's short. To me, it's that track's totally out of character for them, and funny enough, as I got older, I get it now. I used to hate it. It's been used for a lot of adverts, funny enough. Different cover versions of it have been used for a lot of adverts. And we've got Quintessence, Gunga by Quintessence. And then at the bottom, now I'm not talking about this one, but I nearly did. We've got Strangely Strange but Oddly Normal by Dr. Strangely Strange. Now they're the maddest, probably one of the maddest bands. I get the impression that they're a group of hippies. None of them can really sing. None of them can really play an instrument. But they've got lots of enthusiasm. And that album is superb. The music, all the songs on there sound like they're making it up as they go along. It's something you need to. I wouldn't go out and buy the album. Try and hear it somewhere. Particularly that track, "Strangely Strange but Oddly Normal." It just makes me smile. That, and it's technically a disaster. You need to listen to it to know what I mean, but it's got a charm about it that I keep coming back to it and coming back to it and think this is actually really good. I really like it. But anyway, I'm going off on one here, aren't I? The album I want to talk about, which is on side 2, track 3, Time Has Told Me by Nick Drake. And that is on 5 Leave Left, which is shown here. And 5 Leaves Left, I can't even say this, get it the right way up, 5 Leaves Left. He only did 3 albums, and I've got the other 2, I've got Brighter Later and Pink Moon. This was his first album, and I think they're all really good, but I think this is the one that's special. It's people will say, well, he's a bit melancholy, isn't he? He's a bit depressing and all this sort of thing. But I think a lot of really good music comes from that kind of background, really. I mean, he was a bit of a manic depressive. I can't remember. I think there was a sort of talk that he did actually commit suicide in the end. I think he's one of the many who seem to have taken their own lives around the 26, 27 age group, really. There's loads of people, Jim Morrison and people like that have all seemed to, it's almost as though the fame gets too much for them. Saying that, he didn't really become that famous in his own lifetime. It sort of came later on. I think he'd only sold a few thousand copies of his albums. It wasn't sort of tens or hundreds of thousands, which it would be now. So his actual fame hadn't really sort of come to the fore particularly. He was probably never really aware of it, and perhaps it might be that was why he was getting down, because he got this obviously fantastic talent, and never really saw anything for it. And tracks wise on here, that there isn't really a weak track. I mean, Time Has Told Me is just superb. Cello Song's superb. Yeah, Fruit Tree is superb. Really, basically, all the tracks on here are just amazing. Just him and guitar, bit of piano. Just a lovely, warm, sort of involving sort of sound that's just gorgeous, really. I just noticed. I've owned this album for years. Danny Thompson on bass, didn't realise that. Danny Thompson as in Pentangle, and I think he used to do the double bass on, on John Martin. What's the one, there's something, Solid Air, Danny Thompson's on Solid Air, isn't he? So there's quite a few. There's a few names on here as well. But it's the whole thing. It's piano, electric guitar, double bass. Very simple structure music. Very simple lyrics, but just beautiful. And the whole thing is. I mean, every time I see this in my record collection, I have to sort of pull it out and play it. I can't think, oh yeah, Nick Drake, let's get that up, let's play it. Whatever mood I'm in, Nick Drake is always the one I want to pick out, really. The other reason I've chosen this is I needed to do a competition, and there is a bit of trivia about Nick Drake. So, into competition mode, if you would like to win a Cheshire Audio mug, marvel in its design, here's a question for you. Nick Drake had a sister who was an actress, and she was had quite a major role in a British sci-fi series. What was her name? What was the British sci-fi series is the question. Don't put it into comments. Don't sort of spoil it for everybody, but don't know, because people seem to do that. Put it into comments. If you can email me with the email, which will be at the end of the recording. First to answer gets a Cheshire Audio mug. How exciting is that? UK only, though. That's the only thing I say, UK only, because I think sending one of these to the States or wherever else is a bit too overcomplicated for me. So yeah, just UK only. And I think, to be honest, there's only probably UK people who'll remember the series. I think, although saying that, I think a lot of people will think this is a bit of a clue. A lot of people thought it was an American series, and it wasn't. It was UK. It was a British series. So yeah, Nick Drake's sister. What science fiction series was she in? What was it called? And what was her name? That's it. So I'll leave it there. Nick Drake, recommended. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the subscriptions. Over 5,000. This is the whole reason for the competition. Never cease to be amazed by that. Really, it's the channel is much more successful than I ever imagined it would be, and I didn't actually do it to really to do the YouTuber thing, really. It wasn't what I was setting out to do. I just wanted to do a few sort of helpful videos for people. So yeah, thank you everybody for subscribing and giving likes and everything. I'll see you in a future video. Thank you very much.